It's the height of summer here in the Falkland Islands. Don't let the sandy beaches and turquoise water fool you though, like they did me. This was freezing. Because at just 1,200 kilometers north of Antarctica, this is a cold summer. Sitting atop the Southern Ocean, buffered by the southern tip of South America, the Falklands experience surprisingly stable sea temperatures year-round. Inshore waters here typically sit between 5 and 10 degrees Celsius. And that brings me to why I'm here. These cold, consistent temperatures are one of the many reasons the Falkland Islands are being explored for salmon farming. They fall squarely within the optimal range for Atlantic salmon. Now, Atlantic salmon are not native to waters this far south. A similar fish, brown trout, were introduced here about a century ago, and they now have an established wild population. But Atlantic salmon themselves are not naturally present here. Now, in farming settings, they're a domesticated species, not too dissimilar from cattle or sheep, and today they're farmed across the world, including in neighboring Chile. But just because salmon are farmed elsewhere doesn't mean the risks just disappear. Preventing escapes in the Falklands would be absolutely critical. Even though modern farmed salmon are domesticated and unlikely to thrive in the wild, that doesn't mean zero risk, and that risk has to be managed. That's why Unity Marine, the company looking at this, is exploring an all-female farming option. Pretty cool stuff. If an escape were to occur, all females mean there's no possibility of a breeding population establishing in the wild. But biology is only one part of the equation. The key concern on the islands is environmental interaction, particularly how farms would affect the seabeds and enclosed bays they operate in. To minimize impacts, modern salmon farms require high-energy sites, strong tidal flows, good water exchange, and depths of around 25 meters or more. They also need to be sited away from fishing grounds, population centers, and shipping routes. And critically, they must avoid sensitive habitats. Things like kelp forests and penguin colonies. Muddy or sandy seabeds are typically far more suitable. Now, with tens of thousands of kilometers of coastline, the Falklands have obvious potential out there somewhere. But where? A full island-wide assessment is needed, examining currents, marine habitats, storm exposure, and even shore-based infrastructure. That process is known as an Environmental Impact Assessment, or EIA. It's standard practice for new marine farms around the world, and it's how potential sites and no-go zones are identified based on science rather than assumptions. Until that work is done, no conclusion can be drawn either way. So it's critical that an EIA happens here and soon. In the next episode, we'll look at how these modern farms operate elsewhere, which would factor into how the Falklands would manage salmon farming.